I play. Come on, let's play. Come on. No, no, I'm ready now. I'm ready. Oh, I was ready. It's on the menu. Custom adjustment. Come on, sucker. You ready to lose again? You gotta take a shot before you play me. My one homeboy gonna tell me this next date I gotta be a little bit more aggressive on her and pretty much ask her like what we doing. Is she gonna be my girlfriend yet? I'm like, I don't know if I want to say that shit yet, man. What you think I should do? Like it's only like the fourth date. What you think? Right. That's what I'm trying to tell him. Still early. So would you say, well, what, fifth, sixth date? Right, it's my birthday. You think she told me her dogs are scared of the dark. You think I should get her something for her dog for her birthday? I found this collar thing, got a GPS tracker on there, and it lights up. I was thinking about getting that for her birthday, for her dog. That way, cause she love her dog. I was thinking about getting that and getting her some flowers. Should I get her flowers or edible arrangement? I was thinking about getting her that dog collar and flowers. You think she'd like that dog collar? So you never know if she wants in. Right. Oh, that nigga over there, man. play already. Make your play yet? Defense or offense? First play. Yeah. Fuck. Man. I had check my one homeboy Calvin. I'm telling him I want to get her that GPS dog collar thing for dogs. He'll say, man, you be complaining about money and stuff, man. I don't think you should buy it for it. I'm like, bro, I'm not complaining about money. I said, how's I complaining about money? Just because I borrowed some money from you before a couple of times and I paid you your money right back? Like, the fuck? I checked his ass. Like, nigga, just because you cheat, that don't mean I'm gonna be cheap. Shit, she took me out the maestro. Shit, she ain't being cheap with me either. I'm thinking she was gonna take me some bullshit, like cheddars or some bullshit. I swear, if I was thinking, I'm like, man, she's probably gonna try to take me to some bullshit. I wouldn't be mad. It's the thought that counts. But at the same time, bitch, I ain't spent and then $500 dating you so far. Yeah, I've been calculating this shit. It's been $500 in 3 days. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna be patient. Fuck that. I don't want that bitch as my commentator. I don't like hearing her voice. Huh? Damn, so Brandy not even online. It's crazy. No, he's not. Mm. I gotta switch controllers. My controller's about to die. I don't see you. Where the hell you at? Yeah, I ain't about to take his advice either. To my some ask to be his girl after fourth date. No, that's still too soon. You said too soon, huh? Yeah. So you what to do if she bring it up? Right. You gonna pick the fucking lions? Fucking pick the damn lions. Give a fuck. Pick the fuck niggas.
For the constituency that she has there in Texas. but the media would cover her going back and forth with the Trump administration because she would not allow herself to be believed.
Yeah, the Cavs got Peyton Watson. Yeah. And we got Cam Whitmore, too.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough,
On
Mass.
today's show, after a summer that hasn't gone according to plan, it looks like Kobe Altman pulled it off. Peyton Watson, over with the Cavs. We'll talk about it in this emergency edition of Locked On Cavs.
You are Locked On Cavs, your daily Cleveland Cavaliers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your teams every day.
Hi again, everybody. My name is Danny Cunningham, and I cover the Cleveland Cavaliers over my Substack, The Inside Shot. You're listening to this emergency edition of Locked On Cavs. Required Peyton Watson.
No, I'm not. Peyton Watson better than Strus.
Peyton Watson was a restricted free agent with the Denver Nuggets.
He more athletic and taller, too. That's what we need. We need a big, athletic, small forward.
They might actually be a better team than they were last year. We've got a lot to talk about, but we've got to begin today's show by talking about this being a really big bet for the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is a big bet.
God damn!
Peyton Watson is not a sure as of right now. I think he's a good player. I think he can certainly pan out to be a very, very good player. But he's somebody that's still growing, still developing. Would be on a 3-year, $88 million contract that has a player option.
You gotta press
By making
L1.
they sent out Max Strus in a 2031 unprotected first-round pick. Max
L1 pre-snap.
Nuggets. By making this move,
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
through his prime, that Peyton Watson is going to develop into the guy.
God damn! Some fucking time back here.
Was always in the eyes. But when Nikola Jokic got hurt, just a significant amount of time. Peyton Watson that stepped up and really demanded that offense. He was a guy that really kept the Nuggets afloat while while Jokic was out, while Aaron Gordon was out dealing with one of the many injuries that he seems to have. Peyton Watson showed the type of player that he could be, and the Cavs are betting that is the player he's because now the Cavs are in a situation where they need him to pan out. Like, there's pressure on this move to be right, because by giving up that 2031 unprotected first-round pick by the Cavs, that was the lever they had. They don't have any other first-round draft picks right now that they have the ability to
Thank you.
Doesn't mean that there aren't other moves that they can make, but this was the move of the summer. Right? I mentioned the other day that LeBron James was plan A, plan B, plan C, maybe even plan D for the Cavs. And there was a reason why, after LeBron signed the Sixers, the Cavs didn't immediately sign Jonathan Kuminga. And this is exactly that reason. Because the Cavs and Kobe Altman have said this so many times on
God damn, he blocked the fuck out of him. He ran your safety all the way over.
He's got it. Somebody's going to help the Cavs, no matter how far-fetched it sounds. Kobe Altman is going to make that easy. He's going to see if things can get done. Whether that is Giannis Antetokounmpo, obviously LeBron James, you name it. You don't land Donovan Mitchell the way that Kobe Altman did land Donovan Mitchell 4 years ago without making that call and being willing to wait things out a little bit. And I think that's part of it. Because if you told me at the start of the summer that, hey, the Cavs are going to miss out on LeBron, I'd say, well, that sounds like a disaster. For a while, that was a disaster. But they're going to land Peyton Watson. I don't think anybody would have believed.
Come on, man.
If the Cavs were at financially, you know what would have needed to happen? That they needed to jump through.
Yeah, I ain't gonna take his advice. I ain't gonna do this shit.
Possibility for a move like this to take place.
Shit.
And I think he does deserve
She probably ain't trying to rush into a relationship right now.
This team went from having what I thought had been a disaster of a summer to now, okay, we can talk ourselves into this team being better than it was, the team that went to the conference finals last year. If nothing else, they're different. You might be a team that doesn't have the weaknesses that last year's roster did, but I think that's a really important thing in today's NBA. And if Watson hits, if Peyton Watson turns out to be the guy that a lot of people think he can, and you don't have to go any further, go listen to what Locked On Nuggets had to say on Wednesday night. I was listening to their show as I was prepping. Go listen to what they say about him. Go listen to what Spike, who I co-host Locked On NBA Game Head. Go listen to how he talks about it. Because if Peyton Watson becomes the guy that some people think he can become, not only is the floor for the Cavs higher, this ceiling gets so much higher. Because this is a 23-year-old, something that the Cavs have been missing. And they took a swing and a huge miss with DeAndre Hunter because DeAndre Hunter kind of forgot how to play basketball. Because of that, for Los Angeles, I'm from Philadelphia.
I got like 2 micros on defense and 1 on offense. I'm gonna create some more.
But they've been looking for this archetype of player. And Peyton Watson again. Not sure.
Let's see if I can create an RPO or something.
That's but I think he has a ceiling as a basketball player that the Cavs haven't really been playing. And this is a bet that he's going to win. And I also think, as I talked about the other day, this too is a bit of a bet on Jalen Tyson. Because now the Cavs have an opportunity to potentially go from being the team that you look at and say, well, they're really good in the back. They've got Donovan Mitchell. They've got James Harden. Those are 2 All-NBA type guys. They're really good in the front court. They've got Evan Mobley, who's a defensive player of the year, been an All-NBA guy before. You've got Jared Allen, who's been an All-Star before. But the stuff in between leaves a lot to be desired. And it did. And that's not meant to be shade at Dean Wade or any number of the guys that have kind of cycled through that small forward spot. Max Strus, like, this is not shade at those guys. But they were either good and undersized or the right size had some significant gaps in their games. Now the Cavs have a chance to have 2 guys in that spot, in those spots, if you will, that don't have those holes. So we can look at it and say, is the wing going to be the strength for the Cavs? Probably not. Like, Donovan Mitchell is still going to be the best player on this team for the Cavaliers. That's what this is going to be. But now we can't look at it and say, yeah, they're really good in the backcourt. They're really good in the front court. But, man, you can really take advantage of
what the fuck out of here? It's Chris Gonzalez.
And I think that's something that's a really, really important thing for the Cavs. Because if you look at how teams across the Eastern Conference are built, the wing is the thing that you need to have. The Cavs hadn't had it figured out. But now they have an opportunity to have it figured out. And I think that there are a number of things that are worth talking about. One,
God, hate this nigga, man.
One, I have heard from a few different sources over the past couple of weeks that Harden
stand his ass.
That he was
make my ass itch.
Harden felt would fit in really well. The shooting is obviously an appealing part of Peyton Watson. He shot over 40% on 3-pointers last year. Like, that is an appealing skill set to have. In a guy that plays alongside James Harden, that's no secret. That's always been the case. Or at least since Harden got to Houston, that's been the case. Like, that's been part of the formula to maximize who you can be offensively. But Harden wanted Peyton Watson from, I've heard that from a few different sources.
That's sure his ass.
And this goes back to the start of the offseason. This is not a move that would be possible to get done from a Cavs perspective unless James Harden were willing to, one, take less money, which he's obviously shown he's willing to do because he could have made $42.5 million this year. He would have opted into his contract. The Cavs would have picked up their side of the option. James Harden would have been making $42+ this upcoming season. They wouldn't be able to do this unless James Harden opted out. Two, be willing to wait. It's August 19th as I'm recording this. And James Harden is the best free agent on the market. Still an unrestricted free agent. Theoretically, now he's not going to do this. Theoretically, James Harden could sign with any team that has space for him. But despite the fact that he's only been in Cleveland since February, that he's only played 30-something, 40-something, whatever it was when you the playoffs, that he's only played a limited number of the games in his career with the Cavs, that he's still a newcomer, that we still don't exactly know what this all is going to look like. The fact that he was willing to cooperate with the team, be loyal to the Cavaliers in, a basketball society, I'm not going to act like James Harden's the most loyal guy.
Oh, you idiots, pick it off.
But the fact that James had trusted the Cavs to be able to use the situation that he has
Fucking
presented,
idiots. Pick that shit off.
to allow them to go get better, even if it took a lot longer than anybody anticipated that it would, I think James Harden deserves a lot of credit for that. And that's not something that we should forget about him. Like, he had no, as a player, you don't need to be the guy that says, yeah, I can make this happen for us. You don't have to. And James Harden kind of did that. And I think that's a really big deal. And I think that's something that does need to be talked about. I also think Kobe Altman deserves some credit here, too. Because Kobe Altman, obviously, had not had a great season. Mario Hezonja signing, it is what it is. I do think that getting off of Dennis Schroeder's contract is a big deal, right? That was something that was important.
Nope. Hell no.
And doing it without having to give up a draft pick, I thought was a really big move for Kobe Altman. But what Kobe Altman did here, and there's more of this trade that's just coming in as I record this right now. But what Kobe Altman did here was he took advantage of another team being in a bad situation. And you might sit there and say, well, the Cavs were also a desperate team. And they were, because they're a team that just got to the conference finals. They got their butts handed to them by the New York Knicks in the conference finals. They needed to get better. No sane person on the planet could tell you that the Cavs had gotten better to date this season. Everybody in the world knew that the Cavs were a team that still needed to improve. Everybody in the world also knew that the Denver Nuggets needed to cut salary. Because the Denver Nuggets have a couple of bloated contracts. You got Christian Brown, who's making $25 million a year. That's a bad deal. He's not very basketball. You got Cam Johnson, who's a player I like, who has dealt with injuries. He's making around $23 million, or maybe it's $21 million this season. He's a solid player. Again, like, I don't know that he's necessarily worth that money. And the Denver Nuggets have those two deals on their books. And they are right up against the second. They are a team right now that actually is in the second. And if you're a Cavs fan, you might actually want to send a thank you card to Oklahoma City president of basketball operations, or whatever his title is, Sam Preston, because without him, this might not be a move that gets done. Because Oklahoma City signed Spencer Jones, who you may not have actually heard of.
What the fuck? I'll do it right to him.
They signed Spencer Jones to an offer.
Fuck.
A 2-year, $12 million.
Big head, get him.
And the Denver Nuggets did not.
Damn, Dom, he's gonna stand there.
Though they were hoping to sign him for less. So they had to get him on the books because you only have 48 hours to match an offer sheet. And that's exactly what the Denver Nuggets did. That move pushed them into the second. There were no takers for Cam Johnson or Christian Brown, two, objectively speaking, bad contracts that's on the books for the Denver Nuggets right now. So the Cavs had an opportunity, and the Cavs are not the only team that made an offer to the Denver Nuggets for Peyton Watson, or a contract offer to Peyton Watson. That's not how this works. There were other teams, of course, that were interested. Milwaukee was, the LA Clippers were, who coincidentally are in this trade. But because of that, the Cavs were able to take advantage of. They knew Denver Nuggets were not going to spend on Peyton Watson. That's why it was until August 19th that Peyton Watson was still available, that this is a trade that didn't happen until now. They knew that because the Denver Nuggets, historically speaking, and I'm not trying to take shots here, are an organization that errs on the cheaper side. They don't like to pay the tax. And there's a world where they could still try and trade Cam Johnson and Christian Brown and cut the tax entirely, despite the fact that they have a guy who I think is the best player on the planet right now, Jokic. So that, I do think, should, if you're that, make a little bit more appreciative of being Jokic. This is not something that I think would happen. This is something that would happen to a lot of teams. This is not something that I think Cavs would be part of. They are that because their owner is a little bit more willing to spend money to go all out, they're able to take advantage when teams are in bad situations. And the Denver Nuggets found themselves in a bad situation. And Kobe Altman and the Cavs, they swooped right in. They took advantage of what was a bad situation. Again, the full trade is still coming in. I want to read it off here, so we'll do that next. Because Peyton Watson is now a member of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Kobe Altman, it's a deal done that, is it going to make the Cavs better? We're going to wait and find out. But it makes them different. It makes them interesting. And I think ultimately this is a really, really good thing for the Cavs. So we will talk about what the full trade is. And are the Cavs actually better? Next right here.
Yeah, I think that move do make us better.
The problem with finding clothes, but you can live it all day.
The East is getting tough.
Just chilling.
meetings, playing golf, being on the move. That problem has been solved by Cozy Earth. The everyday polo is the answer. It's lightweight, built to move with you, just easy wherever. I've got it on right now, and it's fabulous. Plus, the Cozy Earth Essential Socks, they're exactly what the name suggests. Soft, sportive.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Not an ideal
Through
way to end
the
their
day.
previous
Plus,
drive.
Cozy Earth backs everything with a 10-year warranty and hassle-free returns.
Get his ass, man.
That makes trying it for yourself an easy decision. I've got the Cozy Earth Everyday Polo in blue and in black. Check them out at CozyEarth.com. Use the code LOCKEDON for 20% off. That's right, Locked On for an exclusive 20% off. And if you see a post-purchase survey, please mention you heard about it right here, CozyEarth.com. We'll talk more about the trade because the full one, it's a little bit more interesting next right here on Locked On Cavs. Thank you for making this emergency edition of Locked On Cavs your very first listen, maybe second, maybe even third listen of the day, wherever you get your podcast. That's out.
Man, fuck out of here. I had two linebackers blitzing in the middle.
Hit that thumbs up button, hit that notification bell, and make sure you're subscribed wherever you might be listening to your podcast. So there is more news that's coming in roughly an hour after the first report of a trade. It is 8:53 as I record this right now. This, of course, via ESPN's Shams Charania says, quote, as part of the deal, the Cavaliers are sending Trey Mann, the 2027 second rounder from the Clippers, and cash to the Washington Wizards in exchange for Cam Whitmore. Sources said Wizards are sending Julian Reese to the Nuggets, with Wade Reese off a two-way deal, and fills the positional need as the Wizards have searched for an additional guard in recent weeks. The Cavaliers gain a smaller salary in Whitmore to create optionality under the first team. So there are a couple of things that are important. One, Whitmore, I think, is an interesting player. His career has not panned out the way that many thought it would be. But he's somebody that, like, you can at least talk yourself into as you are taking a flyer on this guy. It's nothing more than that. Like, if Cam Whitmore contributes anything to the Cavaliers, that's a bonus. Like, he would be 100% absolute pound money. He is a 6'6", 230-pound small forward.
God damn!
Be an overall pick by the Houston Rockets. He had a nice rookie year. His career really hasn't panned out. After that, dealt with some injuries. He only played 21 games this past season as a member of the Washington Wizards. But like, it is something that when you look at this, the big deal there is obviously the Cavs traded for Trey Mann last Friday. Trey Mann making $8 million this upcoming season. Cam Whitmore is making $5.4 million. So by doing this, the Cavaliers saved $2.6 million. Heard me.
Hell no. Sick of his ass.
Because they're acquiring Peyton Watson in a sign and trade. They're in a situation where they cannot exceed the first paper number. And my guess is that they're going to be very, very close to it throughout the entirety of the season. Because with this, the Cavs are going to use, I would imagine, most of the remaining money they have under the first apron to pay James Harden. That's what Harden deserves. Harden, I think, has earned that. And honestly, it's going to be something that this is going to be an underpay for James Harden, but they're going to
fuck out of here.
I don't know how many dollars they'll end up below the first apron, but they're going to be a team that's they will be over the tax just under the first apron. And that's why they needed to trade Max Strus, because they needed to find a way to get money clear, because they don't have unlimited money to spend, not because they don't have the cash, but rather because there are rules in place that you are not allowed to go over certain things if you pull certain roster building levers the way the Cavs have. So now it kind of gets to the question, are the Cavs better right now than they were in May? And go back to May, Cavs hold a 22-point lead over the I've said Denver Nuggets so many times, over the New York Knicks in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. We know how that goes. We know how the next three games go. And it felt like the Cavs were so close, but so far away. And the answer to the question, are the Cavs better now, is probably, but we still have to see. Because as I mentioned in the first segment, Peyton Watson is a big bet. He's not a sure thing. He's somebody that I don't think has maybe the highest floor as a basketball player, but I think of the guys that were theoretically available for the Cavs to trade for, I don't think that there was anybody that had a higher ceiling. Now, we'll have to wait and see if he's going to reach that ceiling. So, former first-round pick was, I believe, the 30th overall pick by the Denver Nuggets. He's only 23 years old, just going into his second contract now. Like, guys at 23, especially when they're not, I do think, because he's easy to compare to, right? Kuminga and him are the same age. Kuminga, it feels like more of a sure thing or more of a known commodity because it's played where Peyton Watson has played one less year than Jonathan Kuminga because of when they entered the NBA. But also, Peyton Watson, when you look at it so far throughout his career, he's only played 225 games. And you can tell a lot about a guy in 225 games.
I wasn't saying
that! And I do think it's fair to say that Peyton Watson
bullshit.
is still somebody that's getting better. And you look at what he did last year.
Cut that bullshit off, man. That motion bullshit.
2 assists per game. Did so on 49
set up,
which was just a shade under a career high, but his career high was 49.2 as a rookie when he played 8 minutes a game. So, like, that was the most playing
fucking set up.
This was the best. 49% from the floor, 41% from beyond the arc on 3.5 a game, which it's not the biggest volume thing, but it's good enough to where it's a respectable thing. He shot 73% from the free throw line. Is that he's become a better free throw shooter every year of his career. He was only a 55% shooter. Again, this is not a really small sample size, but he was only a 55% shooter as rookie. Bumped up to 67, then 69, 73. So, like, he has shown incremental improvements from that area, which I do think is a good sign from a shooting standpoint. But you have to think that Peyton Watson is going to be the guy that
129 yards already.
Now, we're going to kind of sketch out what the rotation of Cavs might look like, because they're going to have the starting five of James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, Peyton Watson. Most likely could theoretically be Jalen Tyson, although when you're paying Peyton Watson $88 million over 4 years, I would imagine that guy's going to be in the starting lineup. Then Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. So that's going to be your first five. And then your next guys off the bench are going to be Sam Merrill, Jalen Tyson,
Boutte,
so some combination of Craig Porter Jr., Tyrese Proctor, maybe even Malik Collins. And then Naquan Tomlin is kind of that fourth wing, if you will, behind Watson, Jalen Tyson, Mario Hezonja. Hezonja, of course, is a huge unknown at this point. So this is a team that I think definitely has the potential to be better than they were last year. If nothing else, they're going to be different. Like now, the wing, I do not think, provided that Tyson takes another step forward, which I do think he will take another step forward at a very high end, as I think the Cavs are organizational. If Tyson hits, like if he becomes the guy that he thinks he can become, the Cavs think he can become, they're going to be really good. And if Watson hits, like this is, to me, it's almost like a parlay. And I'm going to talk to you guys about this.
Damn it.
It's almost like it's a parlay, but you've got singles bets out, where you're betting on Peyton Watson, you're betting on Jalen Tyson. You are also betting on both. And if Peyton Watson hits, you at least get your money, right? Like you have.
Come on, man.
Jalen Tyson. You feel
Bitch
like
ass got my way.
You feel like you at least agree. And that's a good place to be, right? If they vote, then you're rich. And that's kind of what I would compare this situation to. Is if Peyton Watson becomes the guy that they think he'll be, if Jalen Tyson becomes the guy that they think he'll be, the Cavs are going to have a great duo. They're going to be able to play them together. They're going to be able to play them separately. They're going to be able to play more of I think they when they play Peyton Watson plays a game. Not that Dean was not a good basketball player, but he's kind of scared to participate offensively at times. Peyton Watson's not going to be scared to participate offensively. I assure you of that. They'll be able to have lineups out there that are Donovan Mitchell, James Harden, Jalen Tyson, Peyton Watson, and Evan Mobley or Jared Allen. That's awesome stuff. I think that this gives Kenny Atkinson some more optionality. I think this gives the Cavs the weapons on the wing that they need. Like, there is a chance that 2 years from now, we are talking about this trade for the Cavs, and I realize that these two teams are in different places right now. Ben, or the Cavs are in a different place now than the team that made this trade. They're not in second. There is a chance in a couple of years that we look at Wednesday, August 19th, as the day when the Cavs traded for their version of OG. Because OG Anunoby, the trade that the Knicks made to Landry, which they gave up more than the Cavs gave up. OG, of course, was, I think, much more of an established player. But that was the trade that really changed the trajectory of the New York Knicks. Because he's the guy that, like, I'm not saying he's their best player. That's obviously Jalen Brunson. And it's Karl-Anthony Towns after that. But they don't win the title without OG Anunoby being as awesome as he is. There's a chance that Pete Watson and that is what the Cavs are doing. And that, to me, I think is a worthwhile deal. Because, yeah, maybe the Cavs aren't great in 2020. And maybe 5 years from now, that draft pick that goes to Denver is a really good one. Or maybe 5 years from now, Evan Mobley's in his prime, and Peyton Watson is 20 years old in his prime. The Cavs still on the roster, and they're still a really good basketball team. That was worth it. What the Cavs are doing is they're taking advantage of a team that's cheap, of a team that didn't want to pay up-and-coming player, and the Cavs are going to take what Denver developed in Peyton Watson and say, we're going to make you better. You're going to start here, and we think that we now have championship upside. You know, I've been doing these crossover episodes that you may have heard, may not have heard. So I recorded one earlier on Wednesday with Sean Wiggs from Locked On First. And I mentioned in there that, like, I did not think that the Cavs, as constructed, were championship caliber. But now, almost, I mean, it's 11 hours after I recorded that episode. I still don't know if they are, but they've got a chance to. And the Cavs had to take a swing this summer. And this was, I think, the best swing that Kobe Altman and the Cavs could do. Now, they did obviously have to give up something to take that swing. Max Strus is what they gave up. We'll talk about Max next right here on Locked On Cavs. But first, today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. There's nothing in the summer like baseball, right? There's nothing like watching, a 455-foot home run go 3/4 of the way up the bleachers like we saw from Joe Adell on Tuesday night against the San Francisco Giants. You think you know who's going to home run today?
What the fuck? That stupid ass custom micro bullshit fucked me up.
On your next bet for a chance at extra winning. Best of all, you can make a free pick every day throughout the Major League Baseball season. Daily Dingers is another fun way to stay engaged with every day's games.
Third time's the charm on the extra point as he gets this one to go. And the lead is down to 2. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because
his ass, man.
Or you don't have to go and be like, I get notification on my watch as I wash dishes. You never use the plan. That has been tweeted out by ESPN Sean Sharania. Cleveland, Denver, and the Clippers have agreed on a trade, sending Peyton Watson to the Cavaliers, Max Strus to LA, where he goes.
with Darius Garland.
No.
And an unprotected
Man, fuck out of here. Lay down. Out that shit.
second rounder to the Nuggets. Watson, here's the point right here. Watson will sign a new 4-year, $8 million deal for plus a player option and a trade kicker. Don't ever talk down on Kobe Altman. Listen, all I know is that what we have been hearing up to this point was that Jalen Tyson, prior to this trade, all of these things are possible.
And the Lions are going to be set up
to bring in a athletic wing that finally fits the mold of what they do. And I've been going back and forth with people all day about Jalen Tyson not being a move. So, people suck.
So 3 plays
I want to say
first and goal, and they are wasting little time.
Because Max Strus is a consummate professional, somebody who honestly I think brought a lot to the table in terms of the business side of on the court, about his business.
What the fuck? I twisted it around!
Talk about Max.
Got twisted around.
Injuries, ill fate.
Stupid twist shit. Got twisted around.
And LA is getting a good one. He just didn't.
That should have been a pick, man. Knew you gonna do some silly bullshit like that.
These have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good.
I'm about to score on your monkey ass. Piss me off.
That the Cowboys are probably willing to go out there. There's a reason why his name is being quoted.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
Jalen Tyson, they have now a newfound talent in Lee Thomas, who apparently they found when they got one. They got one of the ones. I think that was great. But at the end of the day, Peyton Watson, the size, the athleticism, the defensive versatility, the all-fall shot making, that right there, my friends, was just too much to pass up. Like, I understand the qualms in reference to the gamble that the Cavaliers are taking. Because let's be clear, this is still a gamble. I pointed this out in the video early on, but much of his production is based on his run in January, 15-game stretch in which he averaged 21.9 points, 5.5 rebounds, 3 assists, but this dude shot 46.2% from three-point distance and 49% from the floor overall in those 15 games. And it looked like he didn't have good stretches to open the season prior to that. In the month of December that preceded that, he averaged 12.8 points, 4 boards, and shot 55. In the month prior to that, November, which he started 9 games, he averaged 11.1 points, 5.5 rebounds, and still shot essentially 3% from the floor and around 38.3% from three-point distance. So he had a couple of key stretches last year that bolstered his chances of securing a payday heading into this year, and that's exactly what's happened. Despite appearing in just 54 games during the 2025-26 Peyton Watson is looking like an upside play, but this is one of those upside plays to check, to take the gamble on. At roughly 6'6", 6.75, without 6'8", in them on the court, as we all know they play in shoes. He fits everything that the Cavaliers needed at the starting 3 position. I love it. Again, respect to Max Strus, credit to everything that he has brought to the table since he has been a Cleveland Cavalier. And you guys, I'll probably put together a nice little play highlight reel for Max. I've already got a couple of those on my channel in reference to his season in Cleveland. To anybody that may not be a Cavs fan, maybe you're an LA fan watching the stream, check out some of the highlights that I put up on Max because you're getting a pretty solid player. He's coming off a 2025-26 season in which he averaged
11.2 points in 12 games. It was a short season for him due to injury, but he did come back. He shot 40.2% from three-point distance, 44.3% from the field overall. He leaves Cleveland. Having scored, if I am not mistaken, a grand total of 1,458 points. He is a 36.8 shooter from three-point distance, while with Cleveland knocking out 314 triples in 3 seasons with the Cavs. And listen, he may not have been...
Are you fucking kidding me, man?
But he was key at different aspects, different points throughout his tenure here. His defense on Cade Cunningham in the Detroit series stands out like a sore thumb. To me, forcing some of those turnovers out there, just playing with hustle, it is very, very, very impactful. And I think that LA is going to get a very solid player in the likes of Max Strus. So credit to him. Really happy for him to be reunited with Darius Garland over there in LA. But I'll say this, right?
You better catch that shit.
He got the wing, finally got the athletic ability, finally got the defensive versatility that we have been hoping for and praying for throughout this entire offseason. Again, Kobe Alford was able to accomplish this without healing any of the young talents. That is awesome. I'm sorry. I don't care how you slice it. He turned Max Strus, going into his age 30 season, into a 23-year-old Peyton Watson, a player that graded very, very highly in terms of defensive versatility. He was in the 97th percentile in that category, out in isolation, where I absolutely love it. He was in the 97th percentile. They are ranking 18th out of 582 qualifying players in that category. Is somebody that will reject your shot, one of those air forward wings out there that will not only be a threat in the passing lanes, but be somebody who can absolutely reject your shot. He may be not necessarily a finished product in terms of team defense out there. I would like to see him improve in that regard. This is a man who averaged essentially a steal and a block in 54 games. That's pretty damn awesome, while shooting essentially 47% on catch on the season. This dude is an absolute flamethrower of the highest accord, but again, has to be put into perspective in context that it is a small sample size. Just 54 games. Yes, he has other NBA experience prior to this season. He played in 68 games, and the season prior he played in 80 in 2023-24. But
yeah, booty. Trick shot.
Something that Denver Nuggets probably did not want to lose. Somebody that the Denver Nuggets did not want to lose in unrestricted free agency had he signed the qualifying offer that was extended to him. And I'm sure this is not the resolution that they had hoped to end with, but at least they didn't necessarily lose him for nothing. And we know what Denver's tax situation is. We know what the salary tax implications of this really F1 CBA are right now, and teams are towing the line. I was actually writing a video script up about the New York Knicks and their ability to repeat. And in saying that, doing the research for it, it is astounding how many teams have been forced to navigate that, traverse that. And I'm going to just run down the line real quick. The Warriors, I want to say back during the 2022 finals, after that season, they had to part ways with Jordan Poole and pay Drake.
Man, I better get his ass.
That of Bruce Brown and KCP. The Celtics, as we know, after their title run, just a year after that, had to get rid of KP and Drew Holiday. The Thunder, the latest team to have to go through this, they had to part with Thor, Isaiah Joe, and Wiggins. And even most recently, the New York Knicks, they did not want to go into the second apron, so they let Mitchell Robinson walk and signed Andre Drummond, right? And so this is yet another implication of that, them not having the ability to retain the in-house talent, not being able to give Peyton Watson the salary that he so desired, wanting that Christian Brown level money. Granted, he did not get that, but to me, he still got himself a pretty damn good deal. Again, I'll throw the graphic up one more time. He ended up getting a 4-year, $88 million deal to join the Cavaliers.
What the fuck? My shit got mixed up!
$22 million a season. And the player option along with the trade kicker. So if the Cavaliers
Got mixed up.
move him, he'll get paid even more. So, I mean, he made out pretty well. Maybe not Brown level money, maybe not $25 million plus a season. But I think this is a good compromise for Peyton Watson in terms of coming to a team that he should fit very, very nicely on. I'm excited to see the fit.
Mixed up.
Again, anybody expecting him to come here and just metamorphosize into this all-star level talent, to be honest with you guys, I'm not seeing that. I don't think that is what occurs. But what I do think they're getting is a really, really athletic 3-and-D wing out there. And that's something we have been screaming for the longest time. And you didn't have to sacrifice the young talent to get that accomplished. You kept Jalen Tyson, again, the man that I had been going to bat for all day in reference to some of these idiots out here that wanted to see him be moved. I'm sorry. I'm going to do it, right? So I got to be the person to come up here and do that because I feel like people are misinterpreting what it means to have depth these days. It's almost more important than star power. Depth and cohesiveness and fit can take a team a long way. They truly, truly have made themselves a better team this offseason by getting the likes of Peyton Watson. So let's recap this offseason, right? You brought in Malik Thomas via the draft. You got Ernest Uday Jr. on the 2A. That is a good draft and a good summer league showing from those two. You brought in Mario Hezonja, the Spanish League MVP. And to me, that's a gamble. That's a flyer. That's a risk, but that could potentially pay off. That is something that might very well end up making not only look very wise in terms of taking the shot on him, but it might end up making Hezonja a lot of money after this upcoming season. Taking that gamble. That's a good small flyer type of dart throw that they could have done. So kudos to them for that. They ended up re-signing and bringing back some of the in-house talents. They got Donovan Mitchell on the dotted line pretty much a year sooner than what he could have signed for. They can signed for more money down the line. But again, he took a pay cut, in my opinion. But that's a discussion for another day. To me, that this is a good offseason, right? Entering this one, it felt like they were doomed to have a complete disaster and failure after all of the names that they missed out on. No Giannis. If you wanted Giannis, he was off the board. No Jalen Brown. No Trey Murphy, if you are a fan of him. No Herb Jones. I know people still want those guys. No Kyrie Irving. He keeps being mentioned for some reason in these Bleacher Report trades. I'm tired of seeing all this stuff, right? You got the 3-and-D wing of the future. You got the player that you finally want to get. Before I move anymore, I just want to say thank you to player one, JBS, who says, this is great for short and potentially long term. Thanks for the $2, man. I always appreciate when people feel the need or feel the inclination to help the channel out. I truly do. Bruce Johnson says, love this channel. My boy went live and he said, man, you know I got to. I had this stream queued up for what feels like an eternity. Like, I had this stream queued up in the backlog, just waiting to be able to go live for this one in particular. And also had a backup one in place for John. To me, though, I just want to be able to get to a place with this team where they're finally going to be able to have size out there.
Damn it!
Let's go, right? I appreciate you. I truly do. I appreciate all you guys. All I know is that the Cleveland Cavaliers have had a pretty damn good offseason. This one. You didn't have to get rid of too much in-house talent this offseason. Yes, you let Dean Wade walk. Yes, Keon Ellis was allowed to depart. But when you look at what some of the additions bring to the table, I'm fucking ecstatic. Excuse my language, but listen, this is a dub. This is a dub. Again, kudos to Max Strus. Really, really appreciate what he has brought to the table. To me, though, I just think that Max Strus probably has reached his apex here.
Peyton Watson is still on the ascension at just 23 years old. I'm so excited about what his potential could translate to. But again, huge gamble. I know that the Cavaliers took a long time to get this completed, and I know that they have been working behind the scenes the entire time. Again, give Kobe Allman some damn credit. Redeemed himself, in my opinion, after missing out on so many of the big-name targets. This is a good one, considering the cost of it all, considering that you didn't have to pay a bunch of money.
Cut this shit off. I'm done.
$22 million this season is essentially the going rate for a starting level wing these days. Not let alone a 3-and-D wing. How many fucking times have we asked this team to go out there and acquire one of those? They finally did it. They finally did it. Noble Ghost, appreciate you, says, I know James sacrificed for us, but would it be evil to sign and trade him for Kyrie and a pretty pick? Yes. You bet your ass it would be evil. Don't do it. I love Kyrie Irving. You know, I will always have a very soft spot in my heart for him, despite some of the things that have occurred in the media and on the court and off the court. But I will always have a soft spot in my heart for Kyrie Irving. But no, that would be just straight up disastrous. I don't think that the Cavs would be in the business of doing that. I think that after he has waited and sacrificed so much of his time, and to be quite honest with you, he didn't have to do that. He wanted this roster to improve. He gave them every avenue to explore improvement, and I think that he deserves a payday. I don't care what thoughts are on James Harden. I'm not saying
Fuck out of here, man.
James Harden. But I will say this. Whatever your thoughts are, James Harden, it is commendable for a star-level talent such as James Harden to wait out a contract extension to get this team improvement. He granted them flexibility. That is a really, really honorable thing. Say what you want about James Harden. Talk about the turnovers. Talk about the body fat percentage. Talk about the defense. But never say that this guy isn't willing to sacrifice. Because to me, what the fuck? That's a huge deal.
Man.
That doesn't happen. This deal does not happen without James Harden willing to do that.
Fucking
Just
bullshit.
I'm feeling pretty good about this.
Don't turn around, test the ball.
It's flaws, potential pitfalls.
That should be
but
picked.
It's a good gamble. It is a gamble that we have been asking this team to take for the longest. For all of you out there that wanted Kobe to make a swing, this is a fucking swing. Listen.